Good morning. The committee will come to order.
He's a man of great integrity, somebody who really has a passion for the things that he's done.
A leader amongst leaders here in the Congress.
Very strong ally, someone you can count on in a fight.
A fighter for those that have been left out and those that have been left behind.
He's about as genuine a person as you'll ever meet.
He sees into the future, he prepares for the future, he's always thinking in terms of what he can do to make the lives of Americans better.
He's the Dean of the House, which means he's served in Congress longer than any current member. And in February of 2009, he will be the longest serving member in the history of the Congress going back to the 1790s. So obviously, he's a man with a passion for public service and a passion for helping people by service in the U.S. Congress.
Well, John has been a voice for the people that don't have a voice. He's been somebody who stood up for those who were disadvantaged in this country and who were afflicted by illness because he understood that without a voice in Washington, we couldn't solve the problems, that we couldn't increase the voice of those individuals.
He has been the sponsor, as his father was before him, of a universal health care bill every year he's been in Congress, trying to make sure that all Americans had access to health care.
When you think of lions in the Congress, John Dingell comes to the top of the list. When you think of the Energy and Commerce Committee, there's probably not a committee in the House more important to people with disabilities.
Easter Seals is a direct provider of services for people with disabilities of all ages. And so when a person is confronted with a disability for a young child, or an adult with a disability, or a senior with a disability, and that individual is losing their independence or is struggling to gain their maximum degree of productivity and independence, they can call Easter Seals.
John Dingell's been with us every step of the way to make sure that government does what it's supposed to do to help people with disabilities live with independence. He's been particularly helpful to Easter Seals on issues affecting caregivers of people with disabilities with his support of the Lifespan Respite Act. And he's been especially helpful to us lately with legislation to protect services for students with disabilities in school.
John came to the Congress in 1954. There was no NIH, there was no CDC. And he is one of the major architects in building these institutions that have researched how we can prevent disease, that have cared for people with diseases, and done so much good for so many people. There are millions of people in this country and in this world who benefited from John's work, and he doesn't know their name and he's never met them. But he's had a lasting impression on their lives.
I learned about another new rule from you just this morning, Mr. Chairman. Every time I come here, I'm freshly educated about the rules of this committee.
Well, they are the only defense that the chair has. The chair recognizes now our...
He has the great sense of humor. He has the benefit of saying whatever is on his mind. You know, sometimes when someone's newer around here, they're a little bit guarded in what they say. John is not guarded. He will say what he thinks and mean what he says.
What form did that oversight take? Sitting most diligently in your chair waiting for something to happen, or what?
It's better to have John Dingell on your side than against you. He's a good adversary when he's on the other side. But when he's with you, or you're with him, whichever it is, you're usually a lot better off.
He's a man, if he gives you his word, he'll keep it.
Mr. Dingell is an institution in this place. And he's my chairman. But he's so much more than that. He's such a dear friend. I came to Congress in some difficult circumstances, and he and his wife, the lovely Deborah, as he calls her, welcomed me, embraced me, made me feel wanted and loved in this place.
John Dingell himself is a great sportsman. He loves to hunt. He's an outdoorsman. He has a great passion for almost everything he does. And you can see it in his life, in his zest of life, for love of his district, the representation, and the energy that he brings to that representation.
I remember when I was a freshman from Texas in 1982, and you reached out to me and offered me, I remember your advice pretty well. You said all the politics and the policy and the legislating and all that's well and good, but keep your life together, keep your balance, keep your family priorities, keep your health. It meant a lot to me.
I want to thank you for your work, for your dedication, and your commitment to this institution.
When I pass you in the halls so often, you look at me and you say, "Blessings on you." It's a lovely phrase. I would like to say this evening, blessings on you, John, and blessings on you, Debbie.
So many of us, and I believe unborn generation, will be more than grateful to you. We love you.
I hope you realize how much you've done for me and for all of your colleagues as a teacher.
Here's to you, my chairman.
We congratulate you on this recognition, but we also wish you the best in the many years ahead you've got as a representative, as the senior representative in the House of Representatives. Thanks, John.
Our customers live in an environment where they're totally dependent on information technology. But that information technology, the systems they've got supporting the business are fragile. And there are so many different opportunities for failure. Security issues, compliance, performance, availability issues.
When you're customer focused, you not only understand the issues, you understand the business and how they're going to win in the marketplace. So you architect solutions and you implement solutions that will help them win and be leaders in their market.
Like our ad campaign suggests, we deliver high-performance solutions to our clients.
Accenture Symantec Security Transformation Services is an example of one of the capabilities, the new capabilities, the services organization is developing for our customers and for our field organization. You couple up Accenture's deep understanding of industries, their deep understanding of process change, with our deep understanding of technology and security, and you've got a great joint opportunity to go to market and solve our customers' problems.
In our attempt to broaden the kinds of services that we offer to our clients, we investigated several different organizations. It was a very easy choice to select Symantec to be that partner.
We're focusing on three specific areas around compliance transformation, around security, monitoring and management, and around secure application development.
We know there's a huge benefit if companies can solve problems up front in the application stage, and that's what we're doing with our application security offering.
We actually go through and look at legacy applications and/or applications that are being developed that are critical to the business, and go line by line and look through that code and actually determine what could be insecure.
Compliance transformation is our offering that helps organizations focus on developing more effective and efficient compliance programs.
Symantec and Accenture have been able to drive an automated, procedure-driven solution set using Symantec product and Accenture expertise, so we can drive the costs out of the compliance requirements for our customers.
I've been seeing this for a couple hours.
How many customers so far?
7 customers, but really hitting hard.
Security monitoring and management is focused more on helping organizations that are probably already collecting a large amount of security data, but feel like they aren't getting the greatest value out of it.
Customers today want to be able to have a dashboard, a quick look at their current information security structure, architecture, and what's happening in their environment on a literally sometimes minute-by-minute basis. Nobody else in the marketplace today can offer the breadth, the scale, the reach, and the deep expertise that Symantec and Accenture bring to the marketplace. Nobody else.
The commitment we and my organization have to our customer success is so deep, and we really want them to be successful with our products and successful with our services. And I have to say it's more challenging than any other job I've had, but also much more gratifying too.
Fiscal year 08 is going to be the very best year in the company's history. As a team, we will be very, very successful, and we'll only do that if we work together and we're interconnected and know the power of Symantec is that we are one unstoppable team.
I think the reason we're performing so well is there's a lot of mutual trust, mutual respect, and commitment to each other and to our customers to be a high-performing organization. We're a great sales team. We work very well together amongst ourselves, but we've branched out and said, hey, let's look at the whole Symantec company. And it shows in our results, and it shows in our customer satisfaction metrics, and it shows in the way that we're going to market, and I'm really proud to see what we've done.
Our big mantra is to be successful is to have teamwork. And we love taking advantage of all the resources that are available to us, be it Asia South resources, be it Asia Pacific resources, be it the R&D resources.
The core set of our engineers get exposure to customers by essentially teaming with Bill and the APJ team. And the benefit for them is they get somebody with very deep expertise of a particular product that helps them close deals or set up proof of concept.
I think we have reached an incredible inflection point as a team. We have got our sales team very much aligned now around a few important themes. They understand our security strategy and what we're trying to do to drive relevance there. They see the importance and the opportunity associated with standardization in the data center. And they recognize that building deeper, more valued relationships with customers will yield a better business for us over time.
When we think about how we're going to go to market in this new combined sales and marketing organization, I think what becomes important is to make sure we understand each region and the differences in the region. We shouldn't try to do a one-size-fits-all.
APJ has become a significant and important part of the overall business for the company, and we're the fastest growing region. You have Japan, which is a culture and environment in and of itself. Korea is a separate region within the geography, Australia, New Zealand, and then Asia South.
You have the giants, India and China, now currently growing economically 10, 9, in the high 8% in the next 3 years. If you look at how storage and security software market is growing, it's also looking at a double-digit growth over the next 5 years.
I think we are beginning to gain the necessary momentum. I think as the Chinese market continue to evolve and continue to mature, all this standardization, all this compliance solutions that they are seeking will continue to give opportunities for Symantec.
I think when you look at Asia, every country is different. It's got its own set of different business culture, different business value, and therefore for a company like Symantec, I think partnership becomes even more critical.
Actually, it is a mutual beneficial partnership. So if we 1 + 1 is larger than 2, so that we can contribute more to the customer, then we benefit from the customer in return.
I was talking to some partners recently who were quizzing me on where the head office actually was, because from their perspective they saw strong infrastructure in all of the different regions that they were working in.
Nobody, including partners or customers, would prefer to deal with a solutions supplier or vendor who will have to leverage overseas resources to help them to solve ad hoc issues. So I think the strong local presence really demonstrates our commitment to the market.
And I think that's really what Symantec is about in APJ now. It's a very nimble organisation.
Well, there's a great spirit of camaraderie out here, and I think what we find is that we're so far from corporate, 8,000 miles, that we just kind of figure out, we have to do it ourselves. That really creates a situation where people can buy into that and they feel like their opinions matter and that they can have an impact on what we're doing in the business. And no matter what function they're in, they're an important part of not only APJ, but of Symantec as a whole.
This team, Asia Pacific, has always been famous for the spirit that they bring to the table, and it still exists today, even more so than ever before.
This isn't about what Bill Robbins is going to do in APJ, it's about what we're going to do as a team, and every one of us matters.